question goes to Mayor. What do you plan to do as mayor to improve the relationship between the students and the police?
Well, get everybody to behave. I think, once again, like I said earlier, it all goes back to communication. We've got to be more involved, and the students have to come to respect that the police officers are doing their job, and they do have a job to do, and we do have to abide by the law. At the same time, we've got to make sure that we aren't over-enforcing, and we aren't looking to get out there just to cover up, just to fill in the night for something to do. We truly have to make sure that we're going to people when they are doing something wrong, and there is just cause, probable cause, to take action. And I've heard a lot of stories about things that probably went a little bit over that. But once again, it's going to go back to communication and get everybody to realize that we both have duties, we both have jobs to do, and we just need to communicate to do that. Get them on campus, get through an orientation, and just develop a common respect.
Yes, and I think one of the reasons someone asked that question is because right now I think there is sort of a state of some harassment going on. And again, because students feel very comfortable with me at Viterbo and UWL, they've been telling me about that. Recently at a Tri-Campus Forum, I mentioned, and I would mention again tonight, that I think we need to be able to have conversations that are the same at meetings where the adults and the peers and your teachers and presidents of the universities, you need to be able to tell them what's really going on instead of waiting till after the meeting and then telling me, but you know what's really going on? Because I think that's what's been happening. The communication hasn't been as open as it would be. I did serve as the co-chair of the Alcohol Oversight Committee, and during that time we did pass public intoxication, and the original legislation that came forward, J.C. Gamroth and I both fought because it was mainly just a penalty. It was mainly just going to be punitive. We actually fought to take it back out to the campuses and have all the students on the campuses work on it. We had forums, the students participated, and we came up with what we have now. The main worry, and this would be where we're falling into right now, is that there'd be over-enforcement or a level of friction between the police and the students. And I do hear about that and know that it does go on. And I think with good communication, I think the mayor can work on this. With good communication, we need to put that to rest. The reason we went with public intoxication was in Wisconsin, it is not illegal to be intoxicated. And for some of the students who were going into the river, as you've heard, there was no way for a police officer to have stopped them. And that was the worry. So I want you to know that for those of you who have maybe come into the law a little, more recently. One of the things we did, and I told the police chief I wouldn't approve or vote for it unless we did it, was put a sunset clause on it. And that sunset clause will come up again. It came up once and it was renewed. Students did have input on that. It will come up again next March. But before that happens, the other thing that I've asked for, because we've actually met most of the requirements of the Alcohol Task Force, which were about 60 things to get done, is to ask for a second task force. And in that task force, I'm enough of a scientist that I think we need to evaluate and look at some of the things that were thought to be done and are they effective or not. If they're not working or there's problems with them, then we need to go back and change them. So that's definitely something that I will pursue if elected mayor, that we'll definitely look at that again. I was there when Riverwatch was started. I was one of the supporters for that, and also Safe Lacrosse. So just trying to be responsible about alcohol. I'm a fun person. I like to go out myself. And we wanted to have a committee that was like that. We don't want to be punitive or take all the fun out of it. We just don't want anybody to get hurt or have a serious fatal accident. So again, I hope that we can keep working on that together.